Hi, and welcome to What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? Alright, I'll put
Where
the
the fucking
hat.
sombrero? Welcome to What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? And I'm Ace.
And I am Toolie, and I'm going to creep this microphone closer.
Can you hear me now?
No.
NANI?!
Hear me now. Welcome our first guest,
Mothman.
Mothman
From the Prophecies.
from the Prophecies.
Yeah, he's
We're gonna die before we make a third episode.
8 Ks, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
That's a lot of Ks.
Yeah.
8 Ks. Do that right there. We can do that now. We can be like, Bucky, do this. Bucky, do that.
Put 8K right in between my arms.
Put 8K in between our arms.
Yeah. In between our arms with googly eyes for the 8.
And a little tongue hanging out.
Yeah, just a little one.
Just a little tongue hanging out.
What
movie? Oh, VELOCIPASTOR.
Yeah, we're talking about a fucking terrible movie.
Yeah. So, like, it starts off stating that it was rated X by an all-Christian jury.
Yeah.
Which I guess.
Yeah, the juries typically take care of felony charges, higher class misdemeanors, and movie ratings.
Yeah, now movie ratings.
Yeah.
What's the actual thing called?
Fucking...
NCAA?
No, that's the basketball. So, alright, so let's try to break this movie down as quickly and swiftly as possible.
I can't do that without reading my notes. I forget everything about this movie other than Frankie Mermaid.
And if you notice that we keep looking over here, we have a giant billboard with a bunch of crudely drawn notes, which kind of take a picture of that and put it right up in between ours. What the fuck did I just watch? Brought to you by Effort.
Effort.
Alright. So, as fast as we possibly can.
You're gonna go first.
Alright. So, as you can imagine, this movie is about a pastor. Turns into a dinosaur. Roughly, and we're spoiling the fuck out of this for you, I don't give a fuck. So he has this like dinosaur tooth thing that he cuts open his hand while he's walking around in China after the death of his parents.
We found out is Shirley East.
Yes. And long story short, this object or tooth or whatever he had held magical powers, which is swiftly, no, not swiftly, but it is sought after by ninjas. Fucking ninjas. Anyways, it turns him into a dinosaur, which he briefly fights crime here and there under the guidance of a prostitute named Carol.
I'm trying to think about this movie as you're describing it. I'm getting fucking sick.
So
I'm just gonna stare honestly at the camera.
So the Chinese are now after the pastor. What's his name?
All the
Jeff.
Chinese, just
Is his name Jeff?
Stewart. Wait,
Uh,
no. You talking about the pastor?
Yeah, the VELOCIPASTOR.
Doug.
So the Chinese ninjas who turn out to be drug-dealing missionaries who...
Right, cocaine.
Yeah, they want to get people hooked on cocaine so that way they can detox and find
It's
Jesus.
all coming together.
All comes together.
We scripted this whole entire thing. We were talking about cocaine at the beginning. We're talking about cocaine now.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Full circle.
First full circle.
Put a full circle.
A full circle of cocaine.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to just disappear.
Actually, just whitewash the screen with a sprinkle of cocaine. So our drug-dealing missionary, cocaine-dealing, Christ-seeking Chinese ninjas who have an ancient vendetta with these dinosaur Japanese
Dragon warriors.
VELOCIPASTOR
VELOCIPASTOR raptors.
Whatever. Man, and That's basically the fucking point of the movie.
That's pretty much the entire movie.
That's really all you need to know.
A whole bunch of other stuff happens with a whole bunch of other people, and and generally and traditionally in movies, things happen, and people do things, and they speak to each other, and then sometimes people die, and sometimes people turn into dinosaurs.
But sometimes they live. So you know a movie's gonna be bad when their opening gag. It didn't make me laugh at all. Like, I kind of was like, oh, okay.
What, the parents blowing up?
Yeah, the car explosion, and rather than having a car explosion, they have in text across the screen that just says VFX.
Car on fire.
Car on fire, and there's nothing there.
And there's literally nothing there. So he goes outside, he sees his parents next to their car, and he's like, oh, Mom and Dad. Hey, it's you guys. I love you guys. And then the car blows up, but they don't show it.
Yeah.
Just the sound effects of it.
Yeah. And it's like, I get it, but it was not funny.
I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
We haven't even talked about any of the stupid shit in this fucking movie.
Alright, so...
We've glossed right over the fact that there's ninjas, and let me just point... So
I guess you can call them ninjas.
Alright, so we should... Alright, so our protagonist here, Doug, the fucking VELOCIPASTOR, he turns into a fucking dinosaur.
Raptor. Velociraptor.
It's
also a Tyrannosaurus. He looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
He does. They never say, actually, other than...
They also call him a dragon warrior. Dragon and dinosaur are two very different things.
Other than the title, they don't refer to him as a velociraptor in the movie.
Yeah, they do. Yes, he does. I'm trying not to look at my fucking notes, but I have to. Master Wei Chan. Yeah, Master Wei Chan. He refers to him as VELOCIPASTOR towards the end of the movie. And he says it's so weird that because he obviously doesn't really speak English.
But, so Doug meets a prostitute who was under the guidance of our boy, Frankie fucking Mermaid.
Yeah.
Because he was a pimp.
Yeah, he was. Damn it.
So, basically...
He died.
So basically the pastor kills a guy in front of the prostitute, saving her life. And did you notice in that scene when he first kills that guy, that dude shoots him easily 17 times?
Ridiculous amount of times. But the last couple, right before he gets his head lopped off, he actually has to fucking cock it back between every shot.
Yeah, which is weird for a semi-automatic pistol.
It doesn't make any... It's things like... What's stupid is that's what pisses me off about this movie.
Yeah.
Frankie
Mermaid.
Yeah, I love him so much. He's a horrible, horrible piece of shit of a human being, but I love him so much.
I don't know, man. I think he means well.
He's misunderstood.
Yeah, I mean, he went to church and went to a confessional. What kind of fucking bad human being's gonna do that?
I guess he wanted to repent.
Yeah.
He's starting his journey.
And
self-betterment.
Frankie Mermaid smokes where he wants because his life's on fire. What's up with the cherry?
So, I'm glad that you can see that that's a cherry. Because that's the best cherry I've ever drawn in my fucking life. And the only cherry I've ever drawn. It seems like
you spent more time on the cherry than you did anything else on
Right,
this.
that's a good cherry. It took me 3 seconds to draw that cherry.
Really?
So I drew that cherry because my memory works with pictures. Okay? I can look at a picture and remember a lot of stuff based off one picture. So that is referring to
Carol's
the prostitute. No, the prostitute that he yells at one point after he's done talking to Carol. He yells, Cherry, if you shoved dicks in your mouth like you did do that sandwich, I'd be a millionaire by now.
Yeah.
I got all that from drawing a cherry.
Alright, so Doug kills Frankie Mermaid, and that too...
Well, we're kind of skipping over the very important fact that we find out that Frankie Mermaid actually killed Doug's parents. He's the one who blew up the car.
Oh yeah, that shit was pretty funny.
That was funny. I think that was fucking funny.
Frankie Mermaid was the only redeeming factor of this fucking movie.
He started confessing. First out started, lightly, saying, I took candy from a baby. And then he threw that baby in the river.
Yeah, because you don't want it...
Because he didn't want to snitch, obviously. And then he talked about how a couple months ago he blew up a car, killed these two people.
Yeah.
And realized, oh shit, it happened to be in front of this church.
He said, yeah, then one of your priest friends. Yeah, maybe you know the guy. He comes outside and he's like, oh, like it was his parents or something.
Screaming, oh, mom and dad, like it was his parents or something.
See, that shit's funny. The rest of the
Hilarious.
movie
His
sucked.
acting is gold compared to anyone else in the entire movie. Really gold.
No, he was really good.
This movie should have been called Frankie fucking Mermaid versus the VELOCIPASTOR. Even though he lost, it still should have been called that.
Yeah, I agree. Wholeheartedly. Like, no bullshitting around. Like,
He needs to come back with, like, his head severed and reattached to, like, some giant fucking robot.
Well, and that's the thing, though. Like, because so they do a almost 13 long second after... So, he doesn't full blown turn into the Velociraptor. Just his hand, and like rips open Frankie Mermaid's neck, and then they prescribe. So this whole movie, they do so many fucking close-ups of Doug's face, of Frankie everybody's face is fucking right up in the fucking camera, and it drives me nuts. But Frankie Mermaid was cool.
You know what I think?
13 seconds of him.
Ah! You know, I think this was not a good movie.
No, it wasn't good. There's just a lot of stupid shit, man. Like
this was not a good movie.
What I actually got a chuckle out of is when they start introducing Mr. Wang Chun or Wang Chan.
That fucking long ass laugh. Is that what you liked? I fucking hate
No.
so
The laugh was stupid. I like that they only had like two authentic like Asian actors to play and then the rest were just like white guys and like one really tall black guy.
Yes.
For the ninjas.
That's literally it.
From China.
Yep.
Fucking ninja convent or some bullshit.
In this movie. I believe there were, four Asians. 4 Chinese people in this movie. And one of them died as soon as you saw them and you never saw the other one again. I don't think there was a third. I think it was just 2. Well, there's the lady, the girl, who got shot with the arrow. Which was the limpest draw I've ever seen in my entire life.
And how about like when he's like supposedly going to China and it just looks like he's walking through the woods of central New York.
Pretty much.
Like
and how about that title sequence? Like, is that him on his way to China?
Had to be.
The road to China. Well,
China is east.
I'm putting that on a fucking t-shirt, I'm telling you.
That's good.
China is east.
All right, so now this reminds me of another good line in the movie when that chick goes running up to fucking Pastor what's his name? Father Stewart, and blows up.
Adeline, it's his wife.
Yeah, so she blows up into a fucking just a wall of blood.
A block of...
And
she just runs over a random ass fucking landmine that was right in front of him.
Covers him in blood, and then the 2 guys walk up and they're like, what was that lady doing running out here in the woods? And the other guy says, I don't know, probably out here trying to start a family or something.
While Father Stewart was crying and screaming.
See, now that was funny.
I thought everything about that entire scene was gold. I love it. I loved it. They can make a whole movie just based on that.
There's the one scene when Father Stewart goes in to hug Pastor fucking Doug and like does like that awkward like creep in hug and like you could hear him kissing him.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, that happened. So it turns out you find out later in the movie as all this stupid shit happens that Sam, the brother, is that his name? Sam?
Brother Sam.
So Sam...
I wrote Brother Sam right there?
Oh yeah, but it's like way under the hole.
Because that's when we find out.
Yeah, so like later on you find out that he did have a brother and he joined forces with the Christian cocaine fucking ninjas from China.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably to eventually get back at his brother or some...
They both followed Christ. Like, their paths separated, and they still followed somewhat similar paths until they joined up again.
Yeah, and he kills the fuck out of him
Full
like,
circle.
super quick. You notice how, like, right before he kills his brother, and they have that, like, whole, like, moment of, like, you know, yeah, we were both in this for Christ type thing. but like he uses the force to get that fucking sword. He doesn't reach for it. He like literally force grabs it. Like,
and his line was, "Your ancestors are my ancestors."
Yeah.
Oh, shit, we're fucking brothers.
Yeah, that whole fight scene leading up to the ending there, fucking. Actually, all right. So we're skipping over a bunch of shit. So we'll
I still
circle
think
back.
it was better choreography than Samurai Cop.
Yeah.
So you see how I wrote choreography? I don't think I spelled it right.
Choreography.
So that's my shitty drawing of the Earth. And the Earth's
That's the
core.
Earth?
And that's the Earth's core. It's the cutaway thing.
Get it. Make sure we put in a close up of this because it looks like a sad face with spider webs for eyes.
Yeah, it does. It's really bad.
It's like
That's supposed to be Africa.
it looks like birth. It looks like birth defect fucking Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
It's like if the fucking Elephant Man and what it turned out to be fucking Spider-Man.
And see how I wrote Miss Doubtfire?
I do.
Cause we find out that Sam was his brother the whole time. And every time I think of the whole time, I think of Miss Doubtfire.
That's a weird fucking connection.
Right. See? Okay, so at the top, I'm like putting at least somewhat of an effort. I'm drawing little caricatures and shit. And as I go down, I try... Obviously, I spelled choreography wrong.
Choreography.
You see how I wrote your ancestors? Y-O-R.
Nice. Y6R.
Your ancestors. And then up there, proud parents. What the fuck is that? I think it just was hard for me to write parents.
It looks like Proud Pasties.
I couldn't write parents. Then there was that workout montage that was in there. Then there was the whole sex scene, cuddling scene montage.
Yeah.
That was like 3 minutes long. And it was basically a music video.
There was so
that's where all of the editing went.
They easily burned up 7 to 8 minutes of this movie by playing songs of like they were probably just like friends of the people who made the movie.
I think they were all Christian bands.
Really? You
I
think?
think so.
Well, either way, they fucking wasted a lot of fucking time just showing like really shitty montages of bullshit and like I don't know in one like they had like multiple things going on and like in some of the scrolling things it's just like a picture of a statue.
I can't get over the mannequin heads in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
When he pulled off Master Chan's head, he just yanked the whole thing off. The eyebrows and the mustache. I drew that too.
So I got
it right there.
So I gotta laugh at that because like, cause he gets shot in the leg and supposedly like that like but he's like apparently my hand was immune.
And if you see how I drew the dinosaur and I did the little things in between it because
he's
when
moving fast.
No, because when he gets shot in the leg with the arrow.
Oh yeah, it
glitches and flutters the screen because obviously there's no special effects put into this movie.
Had they invested perhaps like
another $20.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Not
$7.
Even. Yeah.
$7 more to just put something in there.
Something.
Some
shitty little, even if it's slow frame by frame, like the cover of Animorphs changing from the dinosaur back to Pastor Doug.
Yeah.
But no.
Something.
Okay, I want to talk about the fact that after their hardcore cuddling session, we wake up with, appropriately, Mr. Pastor Doug above the covers while she's under the covers. He is in his tighty whities though. And then you can see that he is as hung as Luke Perry. And
well, you can see that before when he's in the dress. That was my first indication.
I think he put like a little sock down there. One rolled up sock.
Well, it had to be a little sock.
One little rolled up sock, that's it. Like an ankle sock. That's what it was.
What, just to beef it up a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. So, they wake up from that because of ninjas that just jumped in the window, and all of a sudden, they know Kung Fu. They know martial arts.
Yeah.
A whole movie, none whatsoever, until this scene, and all of a sudden, from here on out, they're beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, it was a big fucking deal, bitch. Sometimes you wake up and fucking know kung fu.
I guess so. I'm still waiting for that to happen. I can't even get up without moaning and groaning and wanting to lay right back down.
Well, like, the day before yesterday, I woke up and I knew karate. Yesterday, I woke up and my dick was hard first thing in the morning. I think it was because I had to pee.
Well, they talked about that there are still others out there that have him. He had like $1 billion bounty on his head.
Oh yeah. Oh, and that's another thing.
And they alluded to the fact that there's going to be more.
At the very end, they're both like sitting like fucking like 1940s, 50s like greaser gang members and sitting on a convertible.
I want his jacket though. And his leather jacket.
She's like, you have $1 billion bounty on your head. He's like, what are you gonna do? He's like, what I do best. It's like, motherfucker, you turned into a dinosaur 4 times in your life. And one of the times, you killed perhaps the greatest human being to ever fucking live.
Frankie fucking Mermaid. That was his first kill, right? No, his second kill.
Second.
His first...
Was that dude when he saved the prostitute.
Yes. But at that one, he technically didn't mean to do. Frankie Mermaid was his first intentional kill.
Yeah, so he killed that sweet man with his thoughts and his mind. It's premeditated. That's
R.I.P. Frankie Mermaid.
It's murder one. Can we just get like a hashtag justice
for Frankie Mermaid?
Justice for Frankie Mermaid. Yes. So right now, there is a heavenly congregation of Father Stewart, eventually Master Chen, all of the multicultural ninjas, mostly white, and one black guy, and Luke Perry's Tiny Wiener.
That was in this movie at least 3 times.
Robin Williams just hanging out.
At least 4 times.
And
he was in the Vietnam flashback too. That's actually where Good Morning Vietnam came from.
So I got a hemorrhoid. I don't know what a fucking hemorrhoid is. So like I just have this growth on my ass and on my asshole. And so like I gave it a couple of days, and basically over the course of a few days I went through like, you know, those like 10 steps of like grieving. Like it was like somebody, like I thought I had cancer. I went through like a solid week, a work week, 5 days, not 7 days, a shorter week. Every day going through all those steps, like fucking denial, acceptance, and fucking finally like I had to go like tell my mother like, Mom, I have cancer. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so I'm like, I have cancer. Like I was like, Mom, I have cancer on my asshole, and I'm like breaking out in tears. I'm literally.
You probably shouldn't be laughing, but it sounds hilarious.
And so like I'm like literally crying in front of my mother, like I'm basically like saying goodbye. And so this turned into the first and fortunately the last time I ever showed my mom my asshole. Because she says, she's like, well, let me see it. And I pull it, I'm like, okay, I will show you my asshole tumor. And I drop pants and I fucking bend over and I spread my asshole open for my mother. And she went, that's a hemorrhoid. So I was like, what's fucking hemorrhoid? So, you know, of course you go to the doctor, and then they gave me these like wax things to shove up my ass. And it went away.